And the timer has begun.
Quiet on set. Except don't be quiet on set because it's a podcast.
Okay. That was terrible, honey.
Because I wrote that as the title for yesterday's podcast, and I was like,
I mean,
but don't be quiet on set. That's why he loves me.
No, you're so corny sometimes. It's just.
Mm-hmm. It's in my blood.
Hello, friends.
Welcome to the Couple Shift.
I'm Maria Leandra.
And I'm Jules.
And we are a husband and wife team on a mission to shift the way we live our lives and co-create what really matters.
We don't always agree, but together, we're figuring it out.
Thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here.
Any other corny lines you want to throw out on us?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sunday. Welcome to day 12, right? Because I doubled up on day 8, was it?
Yes,
Eight's my favorite number, so it makes sense.
Yes, I think it was 8 that you did twice.
And it's, it's a number of infinity and abundance, so that's why. We fixed it, though. So today is number 12.
Hold on a second. You just said a number of infinity, but infinity is not a number.
I mean, 8 is a representative of infinity.
The shape.
It's not just a shape. Okay, this classic moment right here.
It's a shape.
Right here.
What?
Right here. Right here. Are you trying to zoom on me now?
No, I haven't. I don't know how many times. It's like you don't listen to me. It's what I.
Huh?
You don't listen to me. No, it's on you.
I have a conundrum, babe.
What's your conundrum, babe?
Am I supposed to dress up for these podcasts now?
I don't care.
Because
I'm not going to.
There's nothing happening here.
I'm wearing a Podfest shirt that
You did dress up. You're wearing like a podcasting costume.
I guess it's my
or
Podfest
uniform,
shirt
not costume. Uniform.
Is what I slept in. It's a very comfortable shirt, and I just put on the hat because, my hair.
Yeah, so. I put a bra on, and I did change the shirt, but
well, that's a first step.
That's first step number 1. Put a bra on, cover the nips.
Yeah, no, whatever. I told you, start ugly, right?
Coño, are you calling me ugly now?
No,
I know you're not, but it just sounds funny.
No,
start ugly. Literally. No, literally.
Get out of bed.
Hideous.
With terrible breath. And let's just get the day going.
I gotta say, I've always felt.
Listen. My armpits have been.
What's going on there, babe?
I don't know what's going on in my armpits.
We have a mystery here.
I wash them and I'm like, I don't like that. And before my mother would say, "You're not scrubbing hard enough," I've used. We have those freaking sandpaper gloves that are for. Exfoliating gloves, and I've gone in there. I've rubbed them with some really good soap, and I'm just getting in there. The problem is I can't do anything with the left hand, so it's like
I gotta get in.
You gotta get in there, babe. You gotta get in there.
Oh, we're going in.
We're going in.
We are going in.
We're going in deep. So
yes.
I've been stinky. I feel like I've been stinky, and I hate it. I hate that feeling.
Delicious.
Sorry to start your day like that, guys. But
yeah, right.
What it is.
So
you said you wanted to say something. You wanted to talk about something today.
Well, I wanted to ask if I'm supposed to put any effort on my face.
And I said no.
And you said no. So. And I was gonna say I've always appreciated the fact that you've always appreciated me more without makeup.
I love the way my wife looks without makeup.
And I'm a very, very low makeup kind of gal to begin with. But, I like putting on a couple things here and there.
No offense to the women that need to put on a lot of makeup.
Or choose to.
Or let's say not need.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't need to. Let's just get it straight.
Mm-hmm.
This microphone. So annoying.
They might think they need or they choose to.
They might think they need or they just
they
don't
definitely
like.
choose to.
They
might think they need.
It's a choice. But you have seen those people where you're like, who the hell is this person?
Yeah, like you see them without makeup and it's
you're just like, this is not the same person. It can't be.
Yeah. Embrace your face.
And then your face becomes healthier. I'm convinced about
that.
So I've always loved that when that you don't go crazy on that stuff because I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that look at all.
I'm very natural when it comes to that stuff. So we're not going to get into too many details, but yesterday, did we record? No, we recorded before we saw the house yesterday.
I think so.
We saw a house that we kind of fell in love with.
And we'll see.
And again, we're in the rental market right now, so that's the goal. That felt really exciting. And no, the thing I wanted you to get all like wisdom like and philosophical, because we were watching that David Attenborough special earlier.
Oh man.
And that's your zone. And I thought earlier, I was like, we got to get into this on a podcast episode, and what better time than now?
It's such a bitter, not bittersweet.
Explain. Go into a little bit of David Attenborough.
Well, first of all, I've always loved David Attenborough. For those who don't watch nature programs,
because people might be like,
or if you've only seen a few, then you've definitely probably seen David Attenborough if you remember the Planet Earth series. But even before that, nature. For those in the U.S., like the PBS nature series he's been on. He's done a lot of specials on. But he's been doing nature documentaries since, I want to say since he was in his 20s. He's 93 right now, at least as of the last video that was put on Netflix. And the documentary talks about the state of our planet, and not necessarily the state of our planet. It's where the planet is going, what has happened, and it's very well done. And he's become, even at the age of 93, he continues to, try to spread the word of, we need to change the way we are. We need to change our habits. We need to change everything, because people don't realize it. This planet's going to hell in a handbasket, and we are the ones that built that handbasket to hell. So
yeah,
it's a profound, it's a sad, but at the same time, towards the end of the documentary, it really shows we can do this. We can change our path. We can change this. But it's not gonna be just a few people. It's got to be everybody. And are there things that we do in our daily lives that we could fix? Yes, absolutely. That we can change and help.
Oh yeah.
And we should, and we need to try, and we need to push and persevere that, and also pass that down to, our son, basically the next generations, to so they can have a place and they can enjoy the places that we got to enjoy. And it's so crazy. We say that now because we're only in our I'm 36. You're 40. And in the last 20 years, we've already experienced. We've seen it in the places that we've gone, how the land has changed. Either places like I used to go camping all the time in the Everglades, and that's changed dramatically in the 20 years. The oceans that I've fished off the coast of Florida. It's like some people say, "Oh yeah, the fishing was great." No, not where it was 30 years ago. Hell no. And it's like you got to go further out. You got to go find more remote, and it's all this stuff. It's just people take it for granted until it's at their doorstep. Which in our case in Miami, it's definitely going to be at our doorstep in just a couple of years. It has, we've experienced whenever there's a king tide, which is, just to give you an idea, that the king tides, there's king tides and there's spring tides. Not king tides and spring tides. King tide is a spring tide. There's spring tide and neap tides. Spring tides are basically when it's either a full moon or a new moon. So it's the strongest of the tides, the highest of the high and the lowest of the low tides. And
we just had a new moon on Friday.
Right. And the king tide.
I mean, a full moon.
The king tide is a name given to basically the highest spring tide of the year. Basically where the moon's closest to us. And there's a couple times in the year that happens, I believe. And people that live on the coastal areas in South Florida and Miami have already experienced flooding from just the tides alone. Pretty bad. In the Keys, it's like constant flooding. Sorry if you heard that. My son's slamming his iPad. There's constant flooding issues happening, and it's not because of rain. It's just because the ocean is lapping up at the doorstep. Yeah. So we're already starting to experience some of these things, and right now it's a nuisance, but it's going to become something that we cannot stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
will literally affect where people live, the coastlines, the city will change. Like the literal like border of the city of Miami,
and it already
and
has.
many other cities in the world.
And
will
it already
just
has.
change.
There already has. There was a documentary. I don't know if it was a documentary. It was an article I think I read from Louisiana. There's this pilot. These pilots that small pilots that are small planes that they're flying over the deltas of in New Orleans and stuff like that, and they have pictures of 30 years ago and then today, and you're like, that's the same place. And the saddest part about it is that they say, no, that's not because of climate change.
Yeah.
It's like, are you that freaking thick-skulled, thick-headed that you would say that? It's like, Are you kidding me? So, it was an eye-opening documentary. It seems like we're heading down a path that, even if we try, it's, the planet, we're ruining it. But I feel like we have to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about it's not about like, oh, we're screwed anyway, so why not? No. We have to do this. We have to make a change.
Right there
if we can destroy this planet, we can fix it.
Yeah. And I think the most powerful, when at the end he says it's really not even about us saving the planet. It's about really us saving ourselves.
Exactly.
And one of the things that hit me, and because I'm always into this, what are we bringing in, which you can call it mindset, you can call it, what are you literally calling into existence? It's the thinking of, oh, well, this is all kind of like screwed up anyway, so why bother? Little things don't really matter because it's happening regardless. Is so detrimental, because then you're in that space of you're not looking towards what's possible. And, imagine if we did that in our lives right now with what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we were like,
oh, whatever, I'm screwed,
whatever.
Can't do anything about it.
If that was our mindset every day, things would be very, very different.
Yes.
And would go into hell in a handbasket like in a second.
Real
because that's what you would call in. You would literally that's what you manifest. Like the frequencies we give out with our thoughts are so powerful, and our actions, but specifically with our thoughts. So imagine if a significant number of people would shift, which is what I believe David Attenborough is his vision of doing with his documentaries and the information he disseminates. And I can so understand that myself as someone who also has a vision to spread something, like a message to enough people where it creates like a critical mass, like a shift. And then all of a sudden the thinking goes into, actually, oh yeah, there is something we can do about this. And then it begins to happen little by little. And when he shows, because he shows examples of the Netherlands and examples of Japan and examples in places where, Costa Rica, where they're actually, things are working over the period of many years, but they're working. You go, oh, okay. People need to see what's possible. It's so important. And that's why, and at the end, what it said in like this little line on the black screen that said, this is David Attenborough's witness. This is him, his witness statement, it said.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was chills.
Yeah. No, that was a big thing right there where you said, he gave examples of look, we've in not just small areas of this planet where we've made these changes, where we've made some substantial changes that have benefited not only the environment around it, but the economy around it as well.
Yeah.
Like with the Netherlands, you said the Netherlands, they were the second, I didn't know this, but they were the second, the number 2 country in exporting of food.
Yeah.
And it's the way they're high, very dense, densely populated nation, but they are able to, their farming technologies that they're doing is amazing. Using less pesticides, less fertilizers, growing indoors, in cities, things like that. No, it's great.
It was
great.
Really impressive when I saw it.
The other one was I forgot where it was, but it was I want to say it was not the Caribbean. It was I guess.
Are you talking about the seaweed one?
No, that was
there was
a
Costa Rica one, the deforestation.
It was a deforestation
that over 25 years, but it became it was from government regulations.
Right, and the government was like, no, we got to rebuild this, and they got it 50% of the
what
country.
A foresight to 25 years ago, and the government be like, no, that's it, and they enforced private landowners to start replanting native trees.
Yeah.
And so now 25 years later, there's a significant growth in the forest land versus where it had been before, that it was decimated to like a quarter of what it used to be. And now they've seen a huge shift.
The other one was the fishing one, which was like no fish zones were predominant areas where there was mass fishing, and they just said straight up, no, you can't fish here. There's no fishing here at all. And what's happened is the oceans, the seas around those no fish zones, the fish overflow into those areas, and so the locals are actually catching more fish now because of the no fish zones.
Right.
So it's something that we could absolutely do, because I guess theoretically the math checks out. If we have more of these no fish zones, then we can sustain our population with food from the ocean without as a true, the whole thing is about true renewable source. So,
and what he said is that, you know, what we see in nature is that the only way for a species to thrive is if everything is thriving around it.
Yeah.
So when you look at like the purest spaces in nature, the only way for a certain animal or a certain plant life or insect to thrive, or bacteria or whatever, is if everything else is thriving around it.
Yeah, the diversity is so important.
Which is contrary to what human beings over the course of, you know, a long time have generated, is that we are not in a space of everybody else gets to thrive. It's been a very selfish, very politicized, commercialized way of pillaging the planet. And you know, when he says at the end, it's like nature knows, like, life finds a way.
Well,
Mother Nature can find her way, and boy, will she find her way. And we saw that early on in the pandemic, where you know, animals and spaces and the air and everything, it was like just a few weeks of human beings not being outside
in
the mix. It was like all of a sudden the animals were like, we have some clearings. Here we go.
Let's go back.
It can happen very quickly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think that you mentioned in the statement. It's about saving us, right? Mother Nature has no problem dealing with mass extinctions. It's already done it 5 times. Yeah. So, and we're bound.
Yeah.
This planet, I think we can destroy. We can destroy it in the sense of destroying it for ourselves.
Right.
But when we're gone, the planet will be like, yeah, thanks, I got this, and now I will take over again, and don't worry. So the planet's gonna be fine.
You know what I feel?
For itself, it's us.
It's like Mother Nature is straight up a mom, and we're like the toddlers in the room, and she's like, you know, I'm gonna let you learn, figure things out.
Let you fall.
Hit your head on the countertop a couple times, even though I already pointed it out and probably put a little rubber thingy on it so you wouldn't hit it so hard. But you know what? You're gonna like.
And if you don't, you're going to die.
And she's like, and she's being very patient. I think Mother Nature's being we think, because human beings have this audacity and this ego-based mindset that goes, oh, we're the predominant species here because we're so smart. No, actually, no, that's not the case. And this is like big picture thinking. And I think, again, zooming out into all the shifts and changes that are happening at very big, profound levels, part of, and this is the work that I go into very deeply, is how do we balance the divine feminine with the divine masculine, which creation and nature is very much of the feminine, and the masculine has been so, and this is not about men versus women. Everybody, each one of us individually has these energies within us. It's just that for such a long period of time, we've all been veering towards the masculine, which is very much about conquest and conquering and overtaking, rather than the very much receptive and co-creative nature of the true divine feminine, which is, by the way, where societies, hundreds and thousands of years ago used to live. It was that, and then things shifted, and this is all in a blink of an eye, like. In the grand scheme of things,
that's the other thing.
What have human beings been alive on the planet for?
That's the other thing.
Like a second over
200,000.
Like when you look at the whole
over like us as Homo sapiens, whatever. I think over 200,000 years. But the crazy
when you
thing
compare it to the entire history of the planet as we know it.
Yes.
It's like a second. It's like blink and you missed it.
But let me tell you something. The amount of
Tell it to me, baby.
He mentions it in the episode. He's like the amount of CO2 that we've pumped into this, into our atmosphere, right? From you know burning fossil fuels, deforestation, whatever, all that stuff, burning the carbon that was buried and sequestered by nature underneath us, basically. We've burned more. We've burned the equivalent of volcanoes that had erupted in one of the previous extinctions that took over 1 million years for the volcanoes to release this carbon. We did that in 200 years. So,
I mean,
we're pretty good. We're pretty efficient.
We
Think
are
about it. I mean, I'm laughing,
go-getters.
but it's yeah, unfortunately. So I don't want this to turn into
Why not? You don't want it to turn into what? What are you subconscious of, babe?
I'm not subconscious about it.
Not subconscious, self-conscious.
What I'm saying is, I think it's something that, you know, if you guys have an opportunity to watch.
What's it called?
It's on Netflix. You know what? I'm terrible.
Well, it's the latest David Attenborough special.
It's on Netflix, and it should come up if you're just looking.
Yes. Also, David Attenborough and I share a birthday.
So of course she loves him.
Which is why I think Jules loves me.
Yeah, because I love him, so I think he's great.
He didn't know this, by the way, until a couple
I
years
didn't know
ago.
it. A couple days a year ago.
Yeah, no,
Or
it was
when
like
his
2 years
birthday.
ago when I turned 38. I remember that was a significant birthday for me because it was right after a couple months after I'd been laid off. Things
I think
were
it's
shifting
called
in
A
big
Life
ways.
on Our Planet.
A Life on
David
Our
Attenborough,
Planet.
A Life on Our Planet. Yeah.
And this man is just,
I
I
love
mean,
him. He's great.
he is priceless. He's
great.
truly and let me say, because again, I want to speak into the visionary nature of people like him. We got to listen. We got to listen.
Yeah.
You got to pause. You got to watch. You got to have your kids watch with you and experience, because this man has a beautiful way of landing the message in a space of possibility. He's not telling everybody what you're doing wrong. He's like, you know, just
he kind of telling.
But it's more like just open your eyes.
But it's just the obvious. It's
and
like
not to mention the fact that these specials are always impeccably shot and they're beautiful and everything about them is just like it makes you appreciate where we live that much more. So,
and there's no politics behind this at all. There's no politics behind any of that. And no, it's such a well done. Everything he's done, everything I've watched of his, is always impeccable.
Yes.
You know? I used to use a lot when I used to teach. I used to use a lot of his docuseries to show the kids, just because there's the information that he provides and just the way it's written. It's captivating. Mm-hmm. You know. Yeah. So.
And you know what you mentioned about somebody asking him about retirement. And
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Jules was like, somebody was asking him about, you've been doing this for so long. He's 93. He's still at it. He's still doing new specials, like sitting in a studio. This takes a lot.
Actually, he actually was in Chernobyl in this. He sat in the studio, yes, but he also shot a couple things in Chernobyl.
Was that shot for this one?
Yes, it was shot.
That's not from a previous special?
No, it was shot for this one.
The man is a stud.
Yeah. So.
And I said to Jules, this is what, again, I really resonate with the mission. This is what it means to live on purpose, to like lean into your calling. It's not about retiring from a job. This is just your work. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
He came on this earth to be that voice, to create this, to be that. And so I feel the same way, because I don't feel like work is like, okay, clock in, clock out. This is for me is like it's a vision, and it keeps getting clearer and clearer.
Yeah.
And I can see myself at a very old age being the same. Like obviously it'll evolve and it'll shift, and you won't be doing the same things you're doing earlier on, but
yeah.
It's just it's a calling. It's not a job, it's a calling. And I love that he models that for other people, which is very powerful.
Yeah.
David Attenborough Love Fest.
I guess that's what you're going to have to title the episode.
We love David Attenborough.
I love David.
Yes, we do. We
love to meet him.
What else, babe?
This morning, I actually slept a little bit.
Yeah.
I never sleep in.
How'd that feel?
it was weird. I woke up and I was all confused. I'm like, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. Well, actually, okay.
You said you thought it was like a weekday when you woke up.
Yeah, I thought it was like Monday, or I had missed my physical therapy or something. It was just very strange. I fell asleep and I wasn't wearing my my watch. I have a Samsung Galaxy watch, and I think that's the reason why I slept in, because I have timers to take my medication. Because there's a medication I take twice a day, my Riluzole, and for the ALS, and it's a pill you got to take. You can't eat anything for 2 hours before, or you can't eat anything for an hour after. So it's like if I wake up a little bit late, I'm like, oh, let me just take it now, and then I'll wait and I'll eat something. Or if I wake up earlier, I'm like, okay, let's eat now so I can take it in a couple hours or whatever it is. And I have it on my Google Calendar or whatever as a reminder every day in the morning at 9 o'clock. It vibrates my wrist and tells me, hey, go take your pill. And also at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night to take the pill too. It's just a reminder. I don't necessarily, I don't necessarily follow it exactly like at those times, but it's just nice to be like, oh, I haven't taken my pill, I gotta take it.
Yeah.
And since I didn't have my watch on, I wonder if that's the reason why I slept in a little bit.
It wasn't bothering you. Plus also notifications. You get so many notifications. Your watch is always glowing in some way. So that's got to be bothersome.
No. My watch.
Whoa.
My wife is my watch. No. The reason why it glows like that is it has the SAO, the oxygen saturation sensor, and some other sensors underneath, so it shoots that green laser.
A techie man.
I mean, whatever. It's a cool watch. I love it. I've had it for over a year, 2 years almost.
2 years.
I would say over 2 years. I've had it for 2 years. It's been great. Definitely better than an Apple Watch. Sorry, it's just a fact, because it lasts 5 days compared to your 18-hour Apple Watches. And it looks like a normal watch to me, so I like it. It looks a little big on my wrist nowadays because of my tiny wrist. But it's been great. I love it. I've always been happy with it. So
yeah.
So I think that's what it contributed to me sleeping in, not having my watch on.
So are you gonna take your watch off now?
No, because
you didn't like sleeping in.
I don't like sleeping in.
Well, not that that's gonna happen every day, because there's gonna come a point in time when I'm gonna be like, well, baby.
Here's the thing. It was funny because, I think I woke up at 8 or so, and I heard you, and you had yelled at him.
Oh yeah.
So loud.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh shit. So
yeah.
It's going down.
Here's what it is with Skylar. I've noticed you gotta there's a moment where you gotta just get his attention. And he was like he was in a trance of, no, I want this and I want that, and he gets like, he gets in his and I literally, from like a few feet away, I clapped my hands really loud and I went, Skylar, and he just froze and he looked at me. It was like, it just snaps him out of it. That was it. Yeah, after that,
I was
it's like Jekyll and Hyde, and then he like clicks out, and it's like, okay, we're back to regularly scheduled programming.
Estoy happy.
Estoy happy.
Mira,
mami. And then he gets upset because he tells me he doesn't like my face mad. He wants my face happy.
Look at your half an hour glass.
Mira. Ay, look at this. Look at these.
It's almost there. Anyways, all right,
but yes,
baby.
that was that yell.
Okay, so good. All right, so we survived. He didn't freak out.
Yeah.
This episode, I think just in the beginning he was just, but it was good.
He had several hours. He's such good, like, imaginative playtime today. I laid down in his bed, and all I see him is like making little voice. I love when he does that, and all the voices for the characters.
Yeah.
And he has like the little men and the dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs talk to each other. So the dinosaur's like, oh, can I eat this? And the other one goes, yes, of course you can eat that.
He said that? Oh my God,
yeah.
that's so funny.
Can I do this? Yes, of course you can do that. Like ask each. It's amazing. And I'm just laying there like, this is just the epitome of being a almost 4-year-old.
There you go. Anyways, baby. Well, guys, as always, rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes.
This is day 12.
Day
correct?
12.
Is day 12 of the third time? Or yes, this is day 12.
The real day 12.
The real day 12. All right, guys. Love you, baby.
Love you, baby. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Gracias, amore.